All right, week 6 college football breakdown. Moving on to Friday night. Nice little Big Ten battle. Nebraska traveling to Rutgers. I wouldn't call it the biggest blue blood matchup of all time, especially with the condition of these two teams. Nebraska, though, coming off a win last week, 3-point road favorites here. This total has kind of been up and down. It opened around 51, got down to about 48.5, but we've seen this total move up to about 50.5. Right off the bat, if you're claiming to have a good feel of this Nebraska team, I don't really know what to tell you. I mean, good for you. I don't see any way, shape, or form that you could have any idea which Nebraska we're going to get here. Because if you take the logic of, oh, it's Rutgers, Rutgers might have a bottom 15 offense in the country. Well, I'm sure you were saying the same things when Nebraska was playing Northwestern and Georgia Southern. The reality of it is this team looks so bad coming out of the gates this year that one game against Indiana, who's probably a little bit more explosive than Rutgers, so I'll give you that. But one game at home coming off a bye is not really enough for me to say this team has fixed their defensive issues. On the other hand, though, it wouldn't be the most surprising thing in the world because they were, by an efficiency standpoint, a top 20 defense in America last season. Maybe it is possible that Scott Frost had this team so ill-prepared coming into the season that once he was gone, once they got that bye week, they will start to play more like they did last season. That is a total gamble. If you're asking me, if Nebraska's defense does come correct, this total would seem a little bit high to me. We saw something last week when Nebraska played Indiana, and that is they did start to slow things down a little bit from a pace perspective. Now, we know Mark Whipple, who's calling the plays there, is not typically a slower pace guy, but Anthony Grant had 32 carries. So that's typically not a Mark Whipple type of system. Maybe that was some level of adjustment they made over the bye week. So I could see Nebraska staying into more of a ground game here and for this to be a lower scoring game. You don't have to talk me off and necessarily fading this Rutgers offense. But like I said, we would have taken that same logic when Nebraska played Northwestern, who has looked atrocious offensively since that game in Dublin. Same thing against Georgia Southern. The reality of it is this is not worth the gamble. I know it's on Friday night and people love to bet these standalone games. Listen, I had 2 plays last Friday night and we went 2-0. It's not that I'm an anti-Friday night guy. This is not a game that's worth betting. Probably not a game that's worth watching unless you're a fan of one of these two teams. Rutgers is pretty bad, especially offensively. Wouldn't be that surprised if they were able to stop the run. One other thing about this game too, this is Nebraska's first true road game this season. It feels like this season's lasted like 3 years, and it probably feels more like 10 if you're a Nebraska fan. But outside of that game in Dublin, this is their first game away from Lincoln, which is a pretty comfortable place to play. So, who knows? Maybe Rutgers does keep this game close on a Friday night at home. I'm not going to keep talking about this game. I got no feel on this game. And in my opinion, it's just not a game worth betting. All right, guys, before we get out of here, I know you see the shirt right here going with the Miami Vice theme today. If you're looking for some new golf apparel, head over to proud90.com. Unique but very comfortable polos. It's colder weather coming. They've also got hoodies and quarter zips as well. Proud 90's got all your golf apparel needs. So browse their selection. If you see anything you like at checkout, use code Fordham. It's going to get you 15% off your order. That's code Fordham at proud90.com. Is going to get you 15% off your order. Support me, support Proud 90. The rest of the information will be in the description below.